Azure File Shares offer a fully managed file service that uses the Server Message Block (SMB) protocol to enable simple file sharing capabilities in Microsoft Azure. By creating and configuring an Azure File Share, organizations can provide centralized storage for files and applications that remain accessible from on-premises deployments or other Azure services. This approach reduces overhead for maintenance and hardware, as Microsoft manages the infrastructure. Azure File Shares integrate with previously studied security measures, such as storage firewalls, shared access signatures, SAS, and identity-based access. Their role in the file system ecosystem simplifies operational tasks and supports modern hybrid architectures. Azure File Shares play a critical role in the broader spectrum of Azure Storage services. They align with existing storage account encryption patterns, redundancy configurations, and network restrictions set by firewalls and virtual networks. The functionality echoes traditional file servers while adding cloud-managed scalability and reliability. In combination with object replication and access keys, file shares become a cohesive part of an overall data management strategy. They also work seamlessly with Azure Storage Explorer and AZ Copy, offering users direct data movement and simplified file migration. Altogether, Azure File Shares provide resilience, accessibility, and robust performance for enterprise workloads. When implementing an Azure File Share, key elements include the storage account, the file share instance, associated file directories, and relevant security artifacts. The storage account underpins data, redundancy, and encryption features, aligning with previously established configurations, such as locally redundant storage, LRS, or geo-redundant storage, GRS. File share capacities can be set based on the performance tier, standard or premium, and access keys or identity-based permissions can restrict usage. Traditional SMB-level permissions can maintain existing file security models. These components collectively form a foundation that supports seamless file operations and integration with on-premises or cloud-native applications. Before creating a file share, administrators must provision a storage account configured with the intended redundancy model, encryption settings, and network restrictions. This setup can include enabling a virtual network service endpoint or leveraging storage firewalls to secure file access. Additionally, storing access policies and SAS tokens might be relevant for segmented access scenarios. Careful planning for account limits, naming conventions, and performance requirements ensures an effective architecture. Knowledge of best practices, such as restricting incoming traffic, rotating access keys, and enabling role-based access control, RBAC, aids in delivering secure, reliable, and optimized file share performance for enterprise applications. File shares can be created easily in the Azure portal. First, navigate to the designated storage account. Then select the File Shares option. Provide a name for the file share and select a quota size if desired. Within the share, administrators can create directories for organizational clarity. The process is largely intuitive, offering standard or premium performance tiers. Once the share is established, the portal displays a connection string and relevant SMB information. Administrators may assign stored access policies or rely on identity-based authentication. The table below summarizes key configuration options, option description, name unique file share reference tier, standard, default performance level tier, premium, high performance, SSD backed. Using the Azure CLI offers a scripted, repeatable approach to provisioning file shares. Begin by ensuring you have an Azure Storage account with the proper settings. Then, use commands similar to the following: bash AZ Storage Share Create / name, your file share name / account name, your storage account / account key, your access key / quota 100. This command creates a share with a maximum capacity of 100 GB. Specifying quota helps control usage, while account key can be swapped with identity-based credentials. Such scripting streamlines deployments in complex or repeatable scenarios across multiple environments. Administrators may refine file share settings for specialized needs. For instance, adjusting share tiers, transaction optimized, hot, or cool, dictates cost and performance. Tools such as Azure PowerShell can automate directory creation or assign share-level permissions. Integration with stored access policies ensures fine-grained control over file share lifespans and usage. Meanwhile, Azure role-based access can govern which identities can create, modify, or remove shares. Administrators can also leverage advanced encryption methods if required, aligning with organizational security standards. Such configurations highlight the flexibility that Azure File Shares offer for diverse application requirements, from basic file hosting to enterprise-scale operations. Azure File Shares support mounting in various operating environments. On Windows, the share can be mapped as a network drive using the SMB endpoint. Linux systems can mount it via SMB client packages, while Mac OS uses the mount_SMBFS utility. Connection strings from the Azure portal or outputs from the Azure CLI specify the necessary syntax and credentials. Identity-based access, introduced in earlier topics, enables Azure Active Directory Domain Services integration for secure, consistent authentication. Additionally, Samba or NFS-based bridging can facilitate cross-platform usage. These flexible options simplify file sharing for both cloud-native services and hybrid infrastructures. File share performance depends on the selected tier and the volume of file operations. Transaction-optimized shares balance cost and throughput, whereas premium shares deliver low latency using solid-state drives. Monitoring can be performed through Azure Monitor metrics like use capacity, egress, or SMB read operations. Setting alerts for unexpected spikes in usage or performance counters helps administrators stay informed. Tools like Network Performance Monitor can identify network bottlenecks, and logs from Azure Monitor can trace successful and failed file access attempts. This data-driven approach aids capacity planning, ensures operational stability, and maintains optimal levels of reliability. Securing Azure File Shares requires a multi-layered strategy. Administrators should implement firewall rules to restrict inbound traffic and leverage virtual networks for additional isolation. Limiting access keys or rotating them regularly prevents unauthorized intrusions. Role-based access control, RBAC, complements shared access signatures, SAS, by assigning least privilege permissions. Enabling advanced encryption mechanisms aligns the share with wider compliance requirements, while regular auditing of access logs helps detect anomalies early. When integrated with identity-based access for Azure files, the system enforces domain credentials and reduces password sprawl. Such measures combine to deliver comprehensive protection for sensitive data shared across the organization.